Ding. Welcome to the Android Headline Show, episode number 11. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls. Welcome to the AH Show. Fasten your seatbelts. It's time to get your droid on. Every week we talk about all the latest news and rumors in Android world, the good, the bad, and the ugly. This episode number 11, we're just happy we made it this far without getting banned. On tonight's show, we're going to give you the lowdown on several different topics, ranging from the new Google Field Trip application, new Nexus Tablet rumors, Droid Razr delays, LG Nexus device, and more Nexus rumors, keyline pie, and top 10 Android games. So we have lots going on this week for you guys. And on tonight's show, we have our special co-hosts. And our co-host this week is my favorite Brit, assistant editor Tom, the Duke Dawson, coming to you from the rainy place near Buckingham Palace in the UK. How you doing, Tom?
Hey, Dan. You all right?
You know, wow. Tom's got a rainy personality to match the weather outside.
Yeah, cold and frosty.
And also joining me is the one, the only, associate editor, Mike, the Stingray Stinger, from Parts Unknown. How you doing, Mike?
I am doing good.
And last but not least, our resident greenhorn writer that is making her debut appearance on the Android Headline Show, Christina, our diva Android writer from our site. Hello, Christina.
Hi.
So we got a good amount of stuff to cover this week, guys. And our first topic that I wanted to kind of go after is not really a topic, but more of a special announcement for all of our Android Headlines readers and fans. And
Dun, dun, dun.
yes, thank you for that beautiful introduction. I wanted to make an announcement that Android Headlines will no longer be syndicating content. We will be featuring all of our own writers' content only. And while this is not going to be a huge notice change for most of the people, because we'll actually be covering more stories, more topics, some stuff that maybe wasn't as featured on our site before, and going more in depth on stories that maybe some of the other sites that we had syndicating content weren't getting into. So for most of you, maybe you notice it already, but if you take a look at our site, you'll see that we have our featured stories up from all of our own writers. We're also going to be bringing in some new writers, some fresh blood in there, some new perspective on Android as well. And you may have seen some of the new guys already up on the site as well, working away, writing tons of stories for you guys. So don't worry, you will not miss a bit of Android news. If anything, you're going to be getting more Android news. And I know these guys are all excited about it because that means more work for them.
Yes, and soon we'll also be featuring iPhone news.
iPhone news? No.
Oh, fabulous.
Hang on, I
I
thought
missed
our
that memo.
Samsung section was doing that for us.
Oh, yes. Samsung takes care of all the iPhone
Yeah, exactly.
topics. So, with that special announcement, it wasn't earth-shattering or nothing, but it was something that I thought I'd let all the readers know that we're going to be changing up the site content. It's already been in effect since last week, so you probably really won't notice the difference, but we're really excited about it, and it's off to a great success as it is. So now we'll move on to some news topics, some quick news here. Wanted to cover our latest, or our first story this week, is actually about Google's latest application they've released called Field Trip. It's a new location-aware exploration app, and it's now available on the Play Store. And basically what it is kind of notifies you of stuff that's going on around you in terms of historical stuff or restaurants, information, local monuments, trivia facts, and much more. It was created by, I think it's Niantic Labs, which is part of Google. And what it does is it kind of works in with Google now as well too. And so if you're on a road trip and the app speaks to you and tells you facts about stuff you're driving by or stuff that's located nearby where you're going or movie time, stuff like that. Or for example, in my area, the movie Drive, which was just released earlier, I think it was this year, was actually filmed less than 1 mile from my house. I didn't know that. Now, Google Field Trip has told me that this movie was, filmed really close to my house, and my life is enriched and much more complete with this application.
So will this app also tell you about murders? Say you walk past a house, they'll tell you, oh, 4 people were murdered here.
No, Mike, no, that's a different app you're thinking of. I think that's a different app.
Just checking.
Yeah, I think that has something to do with some parole app or something like that.
Yeah, you've got to wait for Google to buy the NSA for that app to come out, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now, they have a pretty neat little video there, one of Google's heart-tugging videos where, some kid and this guy, and they go a little trip around town and see all these monuments and parks and stuff like that, and comes up with information about it. And, it's only available in the U.S., and it's nicely done. Obviously, it's still in the beginning stages. It's not quite fully developed, as I'd like to say, as some of the information was a little bit limited on there. But it definitely looks like it has some great potential, and I could see it working probably later on, even directly in with Google now if you were to turn it on. I'm not sure if anyone else had a chance to have a look at it here, but it is done fairly smoothly and nice. A lot of Wikipedia stuff, restaurant reviews, and so on like that. So it's definitely worth a download, and give it a try. It's called Field Trip, and it's on the Play Store now. And that's all I got to say about it. Any of you guys given it a try yet?
Not yet, but I'm gonna.
Yes, now that we've talked about it, it sounds very exciting, doesn't it?
I could probably use that a lot for school purposes, and it'd be useful for me.
Yeah, I saw the article when Alex wrote it, but I never really checked it out. But yeah, it sounds pretty cool.
It's
that's all the excitement I got.
It's not like something that you're going to be using on a daily basis, but if you're traveling around, it's definitely got some useful and fun facts. So let's move on to our next story, where last week Asus a story had come out from Digitimes about Asus was working on a $99 Nexus tablet. And I have to say, when this first came out, first immediate thoughts were bullshit.
I agree.
Bullshit was the first thing that kind of came out of my mind, because I was like, how can Google come out with a quality product that's sub $100? But just so you know, Asus and Google, the story was that they were working on a $99 Nexus 7 device, and it was going to have supposedly a little bit of lower specs and stuff like that. And I'm not even going to really entertain too much of it, because I really feel that it's kind of an unwarranted rumor. But I just wanted to clarify on it that I don't think this is going to happen for several reasons. A sub $99 product is only available. Tablet product is only available in China with garbage hardware running honeycomb. No, there's some great $99 products out there, but unfortunately we're not going to see any from Asus and Google. There's no room to make any money on this type of product. Maybe in a couple of years there will be, but there's no way that they could put together a decent device that wouldn't get criticized the hell out of, and and just put the Google branding on it. I just don't see that happening.
Well, yeah, to have it couldn't have like a single core processor, so it would have something like a dual core processor, but they'd have to lose money on it at $99. There's no way they could make a single cent.
No, there'd be no way. I mean, you couldn't even put that there. You couldn't put the IPS display in there. It just for it to become $99. It would just have to become a complete piece of shit. I mean, honestly, you'd have to get rid of so much to make it $99. I mean, they already don't make any money on the hardware anyway because they're pushing the Play Store stuff. So, I mean, if someone's going to go for a $99 tablet, how much money are they going to spend in the Play Store? So why are they going to, it's like, hey, let's make this tablet we made earlier in the year really shit, and then everyone will buy loads of stuff from the Play Store. It'd just be a complete waste of time for both Asus and Google.
Well, maybe if they were just to make it an e-reader, that might happen, but I don't see that happening. So don't look for your sub-99 Nexus tablets to be coming anytime soon. So you've heard it here first. This is not going to be happening. Call bullshit on it.
Not from Google, anyways. Not
from Google. Maybe some, like I say, some Chinese manufacturer, and it's going to break in 6 months potentially. But
I actually got one of those.
You did buy one of those?
Yeah, it was the SuperPad Touch 3, and I just got rid of it. It was a piece of junk.
Oh my God.
That is an amazing name. I think I'd probably pay for the name just on its own. What's that? That's my SuperPad. Why haven't you got one?
Well, I mean, I understand that there was a market for them because the honeycomb tablets were probably about the same equivalency of those Chinese knockoffs, and they were about $600.
Everyone should just buy one of these. Just buy lots of HP touchpads, and then everyone's problems will be solved.
Unfortunately, we can't find any more of them. They're all gone.
Well, no, there's people out there that probably bought like.
You have a Nexus 7, right?
No.
I do check Craigslist every once in a while, and people are selling an HP touchpad here and there, but they're selling them for double what they paid for them, and I'm like, I'll give you, I send them my best offer, and they're like, oh no, I can't take that, and I'm like, you asshole, that's way more than you paid for it that I'm offering you.
And I could buy a Nexus 7 for $199, The market rate touchpads can't be going that great. Well, obviously, some people think they are, right?
I don't see them that often.
No, I have to say I'm the first. I'm one of the only people in a good, I don't know, forever mile radius that has one of these things.
Forever mile radius. You've been now looking for other touchpads, both of you. Have you been looking for friends?
Yeah. So someone find me another touchpad because I need to find some more parts for it. That's the only reason why you'd find another touchpad.
I have somebody at school that's got one.
Oh my God, there is someone out there that has one. There you go. You just have to travel to, where are you at, Wisconsin?
Yep.
Just have to travel to Wisconsin to find another HP touchpad user. All right, guys. Let's move on to our next topic. And it was reported in this weekend that Motorola Droid Razr HD and Droid RazrMaxx HD have been delayed due to an iPhone virus called Death Grip, which, if you all know back with the iPhone 4, I don't know, I'm not an Apple fanboy, but remember holding the phone the wrong way would drop a call? Well, it seems like that the Android is not immune to the Death Grip virus, and the Motorola new products have the issue, and they're going to be working on them before they do come out, hopefully soon. It cannot be fixed with a software patch, so this could delay the devices being launched, so we may have to wait till Thanksgiving or possibly later before we actually see this device launched. Quite surprising that you would think that, in this day and age after the iPhone debacle that we would see Android manufacturer making the same mistake.
Yeah, but the plus side here is Motorola caught it before the device started getting to a lot of people, and a lot of people started having that issue.
True.
Whereas when the iPhone, whichever iPhone it was, like I can't remember which
Yeah,
iPhone it was. It was when the iPhone 4 came out, they didn't know about the issue, and then everyone got it, and it's like, hey, we're losing signal, and then they had to just give everyone a free bumper, which took away from the nice design of the iPhone. So.
But I think people were pleasantly happy that they got that bumper though.
Well, yeah. If you just spent
you got that bumper out of the situation
on a new phone,
let me
and
ask
you
you
can't
guys.
use it, you'll be happy you can finally use it. If you
My phone sucks, but it looks proper nice in this shade of orange. That's just what you want to go to bed with, isn't it? This phone works like shit, but it looks really nice.
I have to ask you all. You know, this is a little bit off of topic, but what the hell's a bumper? Literally, what's a bumper? I've never heard of a bumper for a smartphone, and we work in the industry. What the hell is a bumper?
Well, some people also call it a case, but it just basically goes around the entire outside of the phone.
Oh, a case.
But of course, Apple had to reinvent this half quasi kind of case and call it their own bumper, because of course if they didn't, then they wouldn't have invented it, and therefore they would have nobody to sue.
What was it called, like the iBump?
Yes, that's what. How come it wasn't called the iBump?
That would be amazing. Yeah, but then you see, what they would have done is they would have called it the iBump, and then you know the bump software you get for phones where you bump contacts together, they would have to sue Bump. So,
yeah,
you know, either way you look at it, someone's getting sued.
I'm surprised that they did not sue half of the Chinese manufacturers of cases. You know, for putting out these bumpers. I mean, cases.
Yeah, well, what's really funny about that is they're more than likely made in the same factory. I'm sorry, but I don't think Foxconn's anywhere near as safe as Apple think it is. I am convinced that people
they tend to have their fair share. Foxconn kind of seems like a large supermax prison here in the United States, between rioting, suicides, deaths, and starvation, and bad working conditions, and
not being able to afford the products you produce, that kind
sexual
of stuff,
assaults.
Too far.
I think I'll probably.
Should we talk about this phone, or are we just going to go off topic?
Yeah. Okay. Back on topic. Let's reel it back in, guys. Our next topic is the LG is going to bring us their first Nexus device. I'm excited about this because the specs are looking pretty good. It's based on the Optimus G, and I'm going to throw this to our assistant editor, Tom Dawson, to give us the lowdown on what this new device is. What's the specs on this thing looking like, Tom? What are we going to see?
Well, it's going to be based on the Optimus G. So obviously you get pretty much you'll be getting the Snapdragon S4 Pro, which is quad core. So you're getting 4 Cortex A15 cores, and you were getting I think is it 4.7 inch true?
That's correct.
Yeah, True HD IPS plus Super Mega 22, whatever it is. But we don't know what if there's going to be coming on a Nexus. They could put because they do the Optimus G. I think they do it with 2 different cameras. There's one with a 13, and then there's one with a higher. I think they do 2 different cameras, and they can't.
13 megapixel is what they're talking about putting in it.
And then there's also like one of them has like an 11.1 or something.
Yeah, something. They do. Yeah. There's one that has a camera bump on it, and then there's one that doesn't. And I'm not entirely sure that LG figured out which one they want to make yet. So, we'll just have to wait and see for LG to make their mind up on that one. But long and short, it'll be the Optimus G dressed up a little bit different with some stock Android, if we see it.
Well, it's sounding like from the rumors that we're definitely going to see this LG Nexus. I'm really interested in seeing this true HD IPS plus
tangle of words come together in a beautiful
tongue twister.
display.
But I definitely look forward to seeing this display, and 13 megapixel camera with a 1.3 front. The battery is only supposed to be a 2800 milliamp, though it could be a little boosted up there. But
well, if I put it this way, my One X with the quad-core Tegra 3, which, let's be honest, isn't exactly the most power efficient. HTC put an 1800 milliamp hour battery in that, so 2800 sounds pretty good to me. So.
Oh, it was 2100. Sorry, Tom.
The 2100, that's fine. 2100, 300 extra milliamp hours. You know, I mean, it's not a great battery, but it's more than good enough. I mean, but I don't know why they would put. I wish that someone would come out with a phone, especially a Nexus, where it was a little bit thicker, but with much better battery. Just give it a bigger battery.
Yeah, I can't even recall how many times we've talked about this, where different manufacturers need to look at what Motorola did with RazrMaxx. They managed to keep it thin. Of course, you can't remove the battery from the RazrMaxx. However, most people aren't going to have their phones for years.
It lasts so long, you're never going to care. It's just 32 hours of talk time on the new RazrMaxx. Just who wants to remove that battery? I mean, seriously.
Well,
I mean, who's going to do it?
That's a lot of talk time. But if it happens to die, I've always kind of liked removable batteries for the sake that if you want to replace your battery, you want to put in something maybe a little bit stronger. Maybe not on a RazrMaxx, but I mean, you have that option there. A friend of mine has the Razr, and it doesn't have a removable battery on that model, and it just becomes an issue. Batteries are, they fail. I mean, it just happens, and not being able to throw in a new battery without having to send your phone away on warranty, and then once you lose your warranty, that does run into an issue. So it's always nice to kind of have that removable battery. That's always something, that I think is a bonus.
Well, yeah, but too, what I've found with getting like an extra battery that's bigger, like I actually got like a 3200 milliamp an hour extra battery for my phone, and it comes with its own backside case.
Yes.
And it really, for me, I ended up just getting rid of it and selling it and just getting another extra battery that's the 1500, because it just really takes away from the form factor of the phone.
And quite often they don't aftermarket batteries unless you get it from a quality supplier. You can get like an extended, the one that Mike Mike got the 3200. One, it's going to make a bigger phone, and two, that 3200, it might be a 3200, but unless it's a high quality battery, you'll only probably get like maybe 2400 out of it.
Yeah,
so you don't really get much out of these bigger batteries.
Right. Yeah, I've seen a lot of those kind of batteries on Amazon and whatnot, and they have like 2 or 3 star reviews because they say one thing, but they're actually a totally different capacity.
Yeah, I've been there. I bought I made the same mistake twice. HTC Desire came with I think it was a 1350 mAh. Went out and bought an 1800 for it. Nexus S, I think that was a 1530, something like that. Went out and bought a 2100 mAh that claimed to be the same size. It was shit. It was terrible. So, I think the only thing with removable batteries is that all manufacturers that do removable batteries, apart from Samsung with the Galaxy Nexus, they don't offer extendable batteries that are up to the same quality as the batteries they throw in with the phone. So, really, the only option for you to do is just to have 2 of the same battery. So.
Well, and also, too, with some of those knockoff batteries, there's a chance of them potentially, exploding or who knows what. Because a friend of mine actually got an extra battery for their phone, and he went to go take it out of his phone one day, and it was actually expanded just a little bit. But, it looked like it was on the verge of potentially just bursting. I was like, geez. Yeah,
they do, especially when they get hot as well. Unless they're quality sealed.
Not to interrupt you guys, but seeing you're talking on that, I actually have some something to add from here. I got an extended battery from a company for the Galaxy S3. Now, hopefully, we don't get our video banned because YouTube doesn't like us showing stuff on.
Oh no, it's just like music and copyrighted videos.
They said we noticed last week copyright infringement is like Jesus. We deal with the manufacturers and the OEMs. We have agreements in place with them to review their products, and you know we're working with Google here, YouTube, everything, but they still send them to me because obviously everything's automated messaging. But anyways. So I have this nice Galaxy S3 here, and if you can see it's nice, you know, sleek, whatever. You've all seen them, whatever. Now here's an extended battery for it, a 3000.
Jeez.
It's wider than the actual phone. Okay.
Wow.
Now, if I pop this thing on the back, and I have it off of there, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But that's what it turns the phone into. Okay.
Yeah, it turns it into a brick.
Turns it into a boat.
I was about to say he could repair a house with that.
Wow.
It turns into a boat. This thing won't sink in water. But
something we all do with our phones.
It's just like crazy big. It's too. Some of them are too big. I love having the extra battery, and I don't mind the phone being a little thicker, but this one was a little too crazy. And how we were just talking about the quality of them. This battery, just so you know, I won't throw a shout out to the actual manufacturer of it, but they sent me this battery to give it a good testing, see how it goes, and plugged it into the device, and it kept on showing no charge. It wouldn't take a charge, and it kept giving vibrate on the phone. It kept vibrating. I eventually had to pull it out. I let it sit for a night. It wouldn't take charge. It was crap. So don't buy one of these. I'm not going to show the name, but just be careful.
Don't buy this. We're not going to tell you what the battery is. Just don't buy
here
it.
it is. It's on Tryon extended battery. I'm sure they'll be sending a replacement one real quick now, even though they didn't when I told them in the email that the battery sucked. Let's see if that changes. So sales are going to be down for this company come next week. That's for sure. We'll be facing litigation over false claims.
Thank you for your involvement with Android Headlines. However, we can no longer.
You'll be sending us more samples again so we can review your quality product. So anyways, guys, we totally got off of topic, but we were talking about this Optimus G here, and I'm really interested in seeing how this thing performs. It's got a 1.5 gigahertz. It's a Crate CPU Qualcomm Snapdragon Pro processor. Whew! Quad core, and it's got an Adreno 320 GPU, 4G LTE. That's going to be one of the fastest processors that are going to be available. So this thing should buzz, and it should be super fast. And that's how a Nexus device should be. Some of the other rumored Nexus devices we haven't gotten, quite confirmed the firm specs on them. But if this is exactly what's going into this phone, this is going to be the best Nexus out there yet, unless Samsung comes out with one of their hot near A15 processors. But 2 gigabytes of RAM in there is definitely going to make it super nice.
LG have a thing about 2 gigabytes of RAM. I think they feel that if they don't put out a phone with 2 gigabytes of RAM,
I think 2 gigabytes is kind of a standard. I mean, you have this quad-core processor. You definitely need 2 gigabytes just for the memory processes. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but on some of my devices, I notice after a restart how your phone runs a lot fresher. A lot of that has to do with your RAM. So if you do a reset on your phone or turn it on and off when your memory gets to refresh, you notice that some of the processes start to speed up, and that has a lot to do with the RAM. Just imagine like your home computers. Obviously the ones that run with less RAM obviously run a lot less speedier. So
so what you're trying to say is you're not going to rest until you get a phone with a 6-core processor and 16 gigabytes of RAM.
That's what my computer is.
Oh, you got the Core i7 Extreme?
Yeah, I got the I got the Intel.
Yeah,
Core
because everyone needs 12 processing threads.
9 gigabytes of RAM and all that stuff. And when I can get that on my phone, then I won't need my home computer. I just need to plug in a full-size keyboard on here and put it into my 50-inch monitor display. It'll be perfect.
Ubuntu on Android. Done. That's it. Sorry.
Yeah, Chris, I hope you're not one of those people that get a really like super fast computer and only play like solitaire on it.
Oh,
yes,
geez.
I actually do. That's what I do.
He's clearly on Battlefield 3 all day long.
Yeah, all day long. It interrupts my work here at Android Headlines. Actually, I don't even play any games on mine. I just want to be able to open up my browser real fast, so I go really for the overkill.
I want to open my browser faster than it ever needs to be open.
That's right. And so I
Wow.
can run. Well, you know, I have usually about 40 browsers open, so I got to make sure.
Well, you do normally use Firefox as well, so of course you've got that going against you. So.
Yeah, I've been known to use Firefox, unfortunately, and Google Chrome at the same time. That's how many browsers I have open. I have, like, you know.
Yeah, don't worry, Google. We love you. Chrome, Chromium, so cool.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, we're probably gonna see this this Optimus G or Nexus G, whatever the name. We don't have a firm name on it coming as of yet. I think we're gonna see this probably in the next month or so. And Christina, actually, we're going to put her on the spot, throw her right into the fire. This is her first time on the show for many of you tuning in. But she ran a story earlier today that in 30 days we should have a new Nexus device. What was the scoop on that, Christina? You know?
Well, apparently there is a conference that's going to be at the end of October, which is called All Things D Dive Into Mobile. And apparently the rumor is that's when they're going to release this LG Nexus. And that apparently it's only going to have a point release of Jelly Bean, which is kind of a bummer because a lot of people were thinking about Android 5.0. So
don't spoil our news that we're going to talk about next.
sorry.
The credible sources supposedly say, 3 industry sources, that we're going to be seeing this in the next 30 days. Now, these credible sources, well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that we're going to be seeing a Nexus Android device in the next 30 days. They've released them all within the time frame, usually around the end of October, sometimes beginning of November. So that was really breaking news there. But the fact that we're going to see it, definitely. The All Things D is a little bit kind of a show with Andy Rubin on. He's announced a few things on there before, and it coincides with the release. Although last year it was Samsung that did a big fancy smoke and light show to announce the Galaxy Nexus. Hopefully we'll see something like that again.
Which is still the best device. Same.
Do you think it's the best device still?
I've had it for about a year now, and it's been good to me.
No, it's a great device. There's no doubt. It's a little bit dated, but still a great device. Any Nexus device is a great device.
Personally, I think the BlackBerry Curve is the best.
Hang on a minute. Can I just look? If we're going to talk about Blackberries, can we please talk about the BlackBerry Tech Dev Alpha B, because clearly that is what the world's waiting for right now.
Revolutionary.
So let's just not.
I just have to say that BlackBerry will probably go bankrupt before BlackBerry 10 actually.
Speaking of BlackBerry,
He speaks
No,
the
don't
truth.
do it. Don't do it.
Oh,
is
Pearl,
that the
brilliant.
Pearl?
How did that happen? I hope that's your son's. Put that thing away. That was one of the most awkward, probably sold a crap load of them. I don't know why, but that thing had to have been one of the worst phones to send a text message on.
yeah, it's pretty fun.
I'm not great with keyboards, but
I don't know what.
that thing was the worst possible.
I don't know how RIM comes up with these crazy ideas. It's like, hey, look, we've got a really great platform. Let's just fuck them out with it. Let's just make a phone that doesn't work. And here they are, however many years later, struggling along with BlackBerry 10, and they still can't figure it out. So
I know how they do it, Tom. They're going bankrupt. That's how they do it.
Shh! Don't tell everyone.
But hey, they still have some of that corporate audience. There's still people I know who swear by Blackberries. They will not get an Android phone or an iPhone.
Yeah, I know a couple too that have Blackberries.
It's just
not to associate with them.
It's like this. It's the same people that have still, you know, the radios and the black and white TVs and, you know, stuff like that. You know, there's always.
I think that's a little bit of a parallel that you can't really apply.
BlackBerry owners are like the people that refuse to catch up with technology and know that, you know, they're using a dying technology, and you know.
So basically, what you're trying to say is all BlackBerry users are Luddites. I'm sure that everyone out there is going to be very happy.
Okay, well, let me ask you, how many of the BlackBerry owners that you actually know, how many of them are super... Yeah, you don't know any. I don't know any, but the ones that I've seen or heard about or, you know, come in acquaintance with, these are not the most tech-savvy people.
You know, honestly, I can't give you a positive answer on that because I'm thinking about it.
That's your next phone, isn't it, Mike?
I don't know.
See, you don't even know. You would know if they were tech savvy. You would know.
You
Probably.
know. This has gotten a little bit out of hand. You wouldn't know.
You would know.
Welcome everyone to the BlackBerry Hater Show.
And iPhone hater, don't forget iPhone too. What are we supposed to do? Show these guys some love? I mean, BlackBerry hasn't put out a great device in what, 5 years? I mean,
great. Well, they've never done that.
We can really, they can't even help themselves. We can't throw them any bones.
Oh, but they had an interesting statistic from their BlackBerry conference, where I'm sure they try and reassure people that they're not dead yet. Where they said that they were still shipping playbooks. They didn't tell you any sales figures, but they're still shipping playbooks. So they're not selling them because they didn't give you sales figures, but they're still shipping them. So who the hell's buying these shipments?
I know what's happened. I want to speak and put my hand up. It's the people that pre-ordered them when they first came out. They're just shipping to them now.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I have to say, there's a
they're
change
paying the
of
$4.99 price tag after they were already like marked down.
Yeah, you know, talk about marked down. You know, like we talk about these $99, you know, crappy Android tablets. The $99 crappy Android tablet on UK shelves is the BlackBerry Playbook. It's £129 for like 32 gigabytes. And you just walk in, you just pick a box, you walk out. They're cheap as chips because they are so crap.
Does anyone know, can you actually send an email on those things without tethering it yet?
Yeah, they did. That was their big, like, after it had been out for like almost 8 months, I think it was, they did like a really big update, like BlackBerry OS, the BlackBerry Playbook OS, like 2, I think it was, email app.
Wow.
Like, I mean,
revolutionary.
And people thought the first release of Gmail for mobile was crap. Seriously, you need to sort of experience the life of a BlackBerry user just for like a few minutes.
You know, this is an Android show. We're talking BlackBerry here for a second. We got to get off of it, but I'm sure we'll be talking a lot more about them because chances are they're dying soon.
No, I thought you were going to say they're making a comeback, but it's the same difference.
I thought they were dead already.
Same with Nokia, if you haven't heard about it lately. Nokia's not doing so well. Don't let the Windows people tell you any different. Things are not going great.
I strongly disagree with that because you know, everyone knows that all you have to do to sell a shitload of devices is make a number of different colors, and then everyone will buy your phone.
Yes, they have the best color selection of any device out there. They just have the
They do really. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, who would not want a cyan Nexus? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Nokia Lumia 900 meets the Nexus.
Oh yeah,
phone.
I'd so totally pick one of those up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But yeah, I mean, with Windows Phone 7 on it.
One, Christina? No.
What?
Maybe a hot pink one, or an orchard color, or you know.
Well, there's a pink Galaxy S3. knocking around. I mean, it's basically just a bigger Galaxy Nexus. That'll work.
Now, did you guys hear last week in a little bit of rumors that possibly Nokia wanted to sue HTC because of their Windows phones, because they were coming out with colors also. So I guess you know, they patented colors now.
Well, that was something that was just that really got me last week when it was quite funny because Steve Ballmer rolls up on stage at the HTC event. Yeah, we've partnered with HTC. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, we're really pushing these fun, new, exciting phones. And then Nokia's there like, you told us that. So basically, you know, I think who Nokia really need to be mad at is not HTC, is Big Bad Steve. And then that's who they need to settle their problem with. Leave the Taiwanese alone and go after the Yanks. Just, you know.
That's okay,
But,
Tom. Don't.
I'm done.
Most
It's
of our
okay, I'm
viewers
fine.
are Yanks. You're not going to get
Fine.
much support behind that comment. On that note, I'm abandoning that BlackBerry conversation. No, I mean, it's a crime
What's that
to
about?
have BlackBerry and Nexus in the same conversation, literally. We strung up and literally hung for that conversation.
I could send you my BlackBerry Pearl, Chris, if you want.
How about, I have a great idea. Do you have some lighter fluid or gasoline in your home?
I'm so glad you
Yes,
did
I
that.
do, somewhere.
I'm so glad.
Okay, I would like you to go and get that now. Pour it on the device. Put a flame to it, and we will all watch it burn.
Hey, I could still get money for that.
Yes.
You know what's really
Maybe.
sad is you could.
Somebody-
You could. Someone will buy that off you for $20. Easy.
Somebody in Taiwan. And they're gonna, you know what they're gonna do? Use the parts to make some budget Android phone.
There you
They're
go.
going to take that ARM SoC and they're going to throw it in a replica G1. That's all that's going to happen.
It
I
happens.
would be doing a good deed then.
Recycled Android. That's where they come from. Old BlackBerry devices.
This has gone so far off
It's
track.
eco-friendly.
Chris,
Okay,
steer us
enough.
back. Steer us back.
Yes,
Damn
steer
it,
us
please.
back. Okay, guys, we've been waiting to talk about this for a long time, and we are going to do it here today on the show. I'm sure a lot of our viewers have been waiting for it, and we probably lost them all because of talking about other companies. But for those of them that are still viewing, we have Key Lime Pie Talk. That's right. Tea and Pie Talk with Tom from the UK. Now,
Have you ever had key lime pie? It's really good.
I've never had
Same.
key lime pie,
I've
so
never had key lime pie, but I think we're all getting a full dose of it very shortly.
what,
Now-
like intravenously, like just straight in there?
Now we're talking about key lime pie coming out, and the talk is that it's going to be number 4.2, which is kind of a little bit of a change up from what we seen last year. We had ICS that came out at 4.0. We had Jelly Bean at 4.1. And Key Lime Pie is going to be at 4.02. Now, you would think that through our standard numeric labeling that this should be 5.0. But unfortunately, from the word on the street, this is going to be 4.2. I think maybe it has something to do with the size of the update that's going to be taking place, or potentially that Google wants to start announcing their major OS updates to coincide with Google I/O, which is something that's always kind of been on the back of my mind. It would make a lot more sense to make your major updates at Google I/O instead of your incremental updates. So the word on the street, the Android street that is 4.2 Key Lime Pie is your next version of Android. Now, what's going to be going into this next version of Android? Who knows? Well, maybe we know a little bit. And we'll tell you some about it. But to be honest with you, there has not been a huge amount of leaks from the manufacturers or the OEMs. We've only seen a few little things popping out showing that it actually even exists. So we do know that it is out there, and obviously with the new Nexus device, they're not going to throw Jelly Bean on it because they're going to sell a whole crap load of phones next year, and the only way that we're going to do that is with a new operating system, according to the way Google runs. So there's going to be a new operating system, so all these new shiny phones at CES 2013 will have a new operating system to show off. Now, there's a whole bunch of potential features because we cannot confirm nor deny any of these as being fact or fiction because we are still early. So some of this stuff you will see, some of it may not quite make it to. The one potential feature is better support for multiple devices. Now, I know that, Tom, you've heard some about this. What are we going to be looking at? Well, what type of better support for multiple devices?
Well, I mean, you know, it's sort of, I mean, in Jelly Bean we had the whole sort of moving away from the whole, you know, there was 7-inch tablets and there's 10-inch tablets, but the 7-inch tablet is a 7-inch tablet, not just a tablet. So before you had, you know what I meant is, you know, you had 7-inch and 10-inch were just tablets. They weren't different tablets. They were just the same. They ran the same software. Like you picked up when Honeycomb came out, they waited for Honeycomb 3.2 to come out for any 7-inch Honeycomb tablets to hit the market. Like the Acer A100 I had, which was diabolical. But you know, because the 10-inch tablet layout didn't work on 7 inches, so with Jelly Bean they made the 7-inch sort of like a mashup of phone and tablet software in order to make phone apps look better and tablet apps work the same as well. And I think with Key Lime Pie, it's going to be sort of the same thing as we have with Ice Cream Sandwich, where things get sort of better worked out to scale across all the devices a lot better, because obviously you had Honeycomb and Gingerbread out at the same time that weren't very alike and didn't work very well with each other. They weren't scalable platforms, they were different platforms. Ice Cream Sandwich brought that together, but when it comes to Jelly Bean, we've only really seen it on the Nexus 7, and there's going to be a couple more devices coming out, but we don't know how it scales to 10-inch tablets much at all, apart from a few Aces. And I think with Key Lime Pie, they're going to kind of make it scale a lot better and work on all sorts of different platforms. Yeah, so you can have 7-inch tablets will look even better, and they'll probably improve the 10-inch tablet layout as well.
Good stuff. Thanks, Tom, for that. And another feature that they've been talking about as well is also better social networking integration. And I'm going to turn this over to our resident social network expert, Mike. Mike is heavily involved in social networking. And Mike, what's the news about the social networking integration? What kind of rumor are we hearing that there could be?
Well, considering just now I'm diving into the actual things that will be coming to Key Lime Pie, I'm probably not the best person to ask, actually. So.
Well, thanks for your advice, and glad you got the memo on.
Yes, I'm very prepared.
But we're talking about, you know, the share button into about every app, and just the other day, I believe that there were some new features thrown out to the devs where they have more options with APIs to get the sharing of Google Plus and some of the features out into skins and applications. And so you'll see possibly Google Plus getting better integrated as well. There was also a mention of a stock video chat app, which could not happen. You know, we already have something like that with Google Plus, which kind of integrates to Gtalk. One of the bigger things that we might see as well is more Project Butter enhancements that we saw at Google I/O that helps the UI and the operating system overall run a lot more faster and have just you know, speedy, fast device. You know, improvements of course to the operating system is always a huge thing and something that they'll be continuing to work on, as well. Also, some proper Google services outside the U.S. One of the things.
Yes.
Yes, Tom is very happy about this already.
Someone bring me Google Music.
Oh,
Please.
it's brilliant. I love it.
Just why? I mean, also TV shows would be nice for the Play Store, but you know, I'll happily take the music, and then we can work on the TV shows. Google, so don't give me everything at once. Just sort of
space
work
it out,
you know.
Space it out over a few years now that it's already been out for 2 years.
Yes,
you know,
yes. Yeah.
I was in Canada.
1 year for that, 1 year for the other.
Yeah, yeah. When I was in Canada, it took us like a year to get Google Music as well. And really,
Oh, yeah.
have,
I haven't got no music.
and you can see you're clearly upset about it already.
Because no, seriously, it's something that you know. I mean, it annoys me, but realistically, it's something that Google should be doing. And recently, we've seen them expand with the Nexus 7 internationally. You know, it's in Japan now, and it recently hit Korea. You know, so I think they're already sort of hinting that they're going to. But I mean, if they're really trying to push the Play Store and their offerings to even, I hate to mention Apple, but realistically, I mean, what's the point in competing with Amazon when it comes to music and things like that? Because they've got their own sort of thing going on. Why go for Amazon when you can just go for the throat, go for Apple? But they're not. I mean, over here, Apple's offerings completely blow away anything that Google offer me. Like if I open up, you know, it's terrible. I want music, I want TV shows, I want magazines. I don't have to load up Zenio for because I don't know who developed that app. But really,
wow, you want a lot of stuff, Tom.
Tom is clearly upset about this, and I got to cut him off before he takes over the entire show about this movie.
I will get some. Someone will.
But I need to chime in a little bit on where I think and this is not to make an excuse for Google on it, because I feel that they really need to push this a little bit better. But I think a lot of it has to do with when it comes to the music store and you know, the movies and TV shows, has to do with licensing.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And that's where some of the issue is. But you know what? I think they've had enough time to get some of this shit straightened away. It's about time to get their asses in gear, get that out there. If you want to compete with Apple and Amazon, you know, in delivering the content, then you need to get it out there. You know, and not be dragging your ass, taking, you know, forever to get this stuff out. So there's definitely something we hope that they fix. Another talk, well, is some better multitasking. You know, because really, you know, our multitasking isn't bad, but it basically kind of freezes the app while you go to a different app, and then, you know, then you kind of got to go and back button switch. And it would be kind of nice, you know, like what you do with your computer, where, you know, you can pull up one app, pull up the other app, you know, kind of simultaneously, maybe work with, you know, 2 windows. And we've seen that done on the Note 10.1, where, you know, you can kind of, you know, use 2 apps at once. Okay, Tom, you're allowed to speak now because no Google Music. Go on, next. Multitasking, better. Put it in.
There's a very real reason why this needs to happen in Key Lime Pie, and it's the Galaxy Note 10.1. You put 2 apps side by side on the Galaxy Note 10.1, browser and notepad. I'm on Wikipedia one side and I'm writing some notes on the other. Fantastic. Apart from then, you realise that multitasking in Ice Cream Sandwich is a joke. You scroll in one, and then you quickly go to scroll in the other, and then you have to wait. You have to wait for the browser to shut off, and then the notepad to come back to life. When they're on the same screen, I'm looking at them both. This is like macOS Classic, where you hold down the mouse and the clock would freeze. It is ridiculous. We shouldn't have anything like that now, and you know, we need things like this. I mean, you can do it like, for instance, watching the video on the Galaxy S3 and then moving it around and doing things. Great, it's a 4.8-inch screen. Well, am I going to watch like a documentary whilst I'm browsing? No, I'm not. I'm going to show it to my friends, and I'm never going to use the feature ever again. But you know, on the Galaxy Note 10.1 and tablets that are, you know, going to replace laptops for quite a lot of people, this sort of stuff needs to happen, because especially with Windows 8 hitting the scene. I mean, Windows 8. Unless Android for tablets gets better, Windows 8 is going to really, really hurt Android tablets.
I don't know about going that far. You see how Windows operates. Well, hey,
I despise Windows.
Android. Let's keep it to Android. Key lime pie preview. Okay. Now, thanks for adding that in, Tom. As well, also we have potentially, some launcher customizations, and I'll add a little bit more, on some UI stuff after. But I know a lot of people are interested in, because we have Apex and Nova Launcher, and they're quite successful what they do, because you're able to customize it a lot more. Just for an example, on a stock launcher, it doesn't rotate. And it would be nice, and also how you can kind of, swipe through all of your icons. That would be a nice option as well. Changing up how many icons you're able to place on your home screen. Android is definitely about customization, so it would be nice to see that, some of these things that would probably be pretty simple for them to implement. Obviously, if some of the developers are doing it, I think would be easily, thrown in there. To move on to another one as well, there's some mention of an Android Game Center. We heard about something about this back at Google I/O. iPhone has their little thing, and as well also on G+, where you can compete, in between games with your friends and stuff like that, and trash talk them or whatever, and gaming is becoming a very huge part of smartphones and tablets, and they need better integration so you can get the social aspect in there too, because the gaming is becoming a lot more social. And I think getting a game center in there where other Android users can interact with their friends and so on like that will allow them to maybe push the gaming on the Android devices a lot more. I mean, Tom, you're a big gamer. Is that not something you want to be able to tell, when you're playing Bad Piggies, like I know you are, every day, every hour?
Yeah, I've not got better games to play.
Yeah.
No,
is that not something you want to do? You want to be able to tell your friends, ha, screw you, I beat your, top score, beat that, fragged you in the head, suck that, zombie bitches, something like that.
I would love that feature.
Yeah, I think
have lots of fun.
Exactly. I mean, that is something that again needs to happen, because I hate to pull out the F word, but that is where fragmentation really hits its peak on Android. Go on the Play Store, download like 5 or so random games, and then see if they've all got like an online thing. You might get 2 out of the 5 being on the same service, but then when you have to sign up to 2 services to play a few different games, I'm not interested. I'm instantly not interested in any of them. It's just, unless it's all in one, then what's the point in signing up for another? I mean, you could be like the only person out of your friend group that actually plays Bad Piggies. Yeah, I mean, that's probably quite likely at this stage. But,
unless you're 5.
Well, yeah, but, it's just one of these things where gaming these days, especially, with the Tegra, with the Tegra 3 and, the improved Adreno in the Snapdragon S4 Pro, gaming's going to get even better on Android. And the only way that people are really going to start taking notice, like they ought to be doing, is if they know that there's something like that they can instantly identify as being like Xbox Live, like PSN, like Steam, even like games for Windows Live, something like that.
Yeah.
They can kind of instantly go, oh, brilliant! So I can play that game that I really like, and then I can share it with so and so. And if it's you can link it into Google Plus and make some cash. So, but they need to do something like that, because otherwise all these games are going to come out and they're just going to get forgotten, because you play them once and that's it. And
that's what you do, just play a game once and that's it. No,
well,
I know what you're saying.
Mostly on phones and tablets, because
there's
no replayability.
On the PCs, they've had almost a form of social integration for almost near 10 years, when people were playing with voice chats and IMs and stuff like that. And obviously, it's huge through consoles devices now, and on other mobile platforms as well. So with the increasing as well of gaming and the amount of apps, and it's a large business, it's definitely something that they want to take on. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, we didn't really cover, is the UI. Now, I know, what's his name there, that little guy that works over there, Marcus Duarte or whatever, over at Google there, some guy thinks he's kind of in charge of stuff.
Thinks he's kind of in charge. Yeah, dude.
He's
I mean,
been,
head of user experience over at Google, Matthias Duarte.
I think he's a tester, beta test or something. Anyways, and for all of you who maybe don't know who he is, he's some head honcho over there. And he works with the Android development team directly in designing and developing and seeing where, Android is going and the vision. And he worked with Palm back in the day and Pre and HP.
He basically made Palm. I mean, let's be honest.
Okay. Give him some credit. Anyways, he was, he's a visionary type of guy. And I know that the UI on Android is probably not up to snuff to as where he'd be happy with, because I know he's a real heavy UI, guy, and eye candy. He really likes his eye candy, and I've seen a lot of chats and talks, and and from some of my sources that this is the type of thing that he's really looking to focus at. Because let's face it, before Ice Cream Sandwich, the UI was a mess. It didn't look so hot. Now you're really seeing Mr. Duarte's stamp on Android, especially through Ice Cream and Jelly Bean, and we're going to see more of that. We're going to see a lot more uniformity throughout the entire UI and ecosystem coming up, and I would not be surprised if we start to see some overhauling changes to the Android UI in the next couple iterations. I think we're going to start to see a preview of that in 4.2. I would definitely bet Tom's life on it that 5.0 we will see some heavy UI integration into the OS. Some big major changes, some eye candy that is going to really take it over the top.
Just as I'm about to disagree with you, you make a wager on my existence.
That was a way you could not disagree with me, because your life depended on my actions and words coming truthful.
Well, it's a well-known fact that I laugh in the face of danger, so I'm fine.
Oh no!
Exactly. Now let's throw it out there. We've kind of hit some of the stuff that were simple off the hook stuff. Let's hear from Mike. He's been really quiet and through this whole key lime pie story here because he didn't read the notes beforehand. So, Mike, what would you like to see in key lime pie? What is something, just off the top of your head, some type of dream,
Honestly, I'm not a hard person to please. Like I like Jelly Bean right now. I like the UI. Anytime you can make it perform better, make the transition smoother, make the whole experience smoother and faster. That's mainly what I look for. I kind of like the UI right now.
Maybe you need to turn on your device and see what pain in the ass for you or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not really like super picky. Like
he just wants an even 14.
If it does what I want it to do, then it's fine. For me.
Oh come on now. I would love it if they get rid of that search bar.
Talk about being middle of the road. Just trying to please the people at home. And any potential Google employees that may be watching.
I think all Mike really wants.
I'm being honest.
Nothing you want. Google Android is perfect.
No, it's not perfect. But like off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything that's necessarily.
Okay, we'll get back to
16 gigabytes of RAM.
Yes, that's what we need. 16 gigs of RAM. We need an octa-core processor.
Oh, please.
Yes.
All right, let's go to Christina. She obviously has a few things that she wants to get off of her chest. We're not talking about her bra or anything like that. She must have some. I just threw that out there. This is the first time we had a female on the show, so a bunch of guys, whatever. You got to make some derogatory type of comment on the show, or it wouldn't be a geek show. So, what would you like to see on the new key lime pie, Christina?
What would I like to see?
Yeah, what kind of changes would you like to see?
I would definitely like to see the ability to be able to customize it more to your own liking. I really like this idea of getting rid of that annoying search bar. I hate that. And I mean, it just, customizing it, making it the color that you want. I mean, that's what I like about it, is I can't stand them white backgrounds.
You can change the wallpapers.
What do you think this is, iOS 5?
The wallpapers, but I like making it look the way I want to.
So you want it fully customizable. You want to take the notification bar, the menus, everything. You want to tweak the whole thing, right? Make it all beautiful pink.
No. Ugh.
Can you imagine a pink UI? That would be...
Blue.
Oh.
They have those.
Now, it can be done with the ROMs. And, it would be nice to be able to see, without having to root your phone, to be able to throw in some more customizations. They do have themes, but a lot of them are pretty clunky, don't necessarily run the best.
Yeah, HTC.
Go Launcher and Nova Launcher and Apex Launcher are not pissed at me for saying that. But, I mean, it's, some of the customizations that she's talking about, why can't we see those, built right into, the settings and have those features as well, too. Tom, what do you got to say about the next version of Key Lime Pie? What would you like to see in it?
Well, you know me, Chris. I have a dream.
What's your dream?
And this dream is for Google, when they release Key Lime Pie, to knock on the door of all their partners and go, you know how we spend a lot of time making this operating system look as good as it does? When you completely fuck about with it, oh, hang on, my chair's going down. No, I'm fine. No, basically, what they need to do is they need to just say to their manufacturers and their partners, if you're going to mess around with Android, then make sure to give people a way out, to reverse the changes and have a stock build of Android, whether that be through some kind of means on like a web page or something like that, or out of the box. Just make it so that you can get rid of all the crap and get stock Android if you want to, without having to root, without having to avoid a warranty or anything, because it won't be difficult for them to do. Particularly, all you got to do is, when you're making the device, you build off of the 4.2 source code. Then you make a ROM, make some binaries, then pull that to one side, then start messing with it, and then when people get it out of the box, Key Lime Pie, a feature of Key Lime Pie is you want stock Android, you want a pure Google device, pick whichever device off the shelf you want. Just go to so-and-so.
Or just have it like they load up bloatware like crazy on these devices. Load up a theme, have it come pre-installed with the theme, so that they get it right away. So they have their TouchWiz crap or whatever.
Yeah, and then they can reverse it if they want
to uninstall it or make the theme unactive. Then you can do so, and it goes with a stock Android experience.
That's my dream.
It's a beautiful dream.
That's a good dream.
That's a beautiful.
It's never gonna happen.
I have a tear in my eye about it.
Oh God.
Oh, Canada. Oh, dear.
Anyways, so yeah, beautiful dream, and one day, maybe one day. Anyways, and
you Google.
That was my dream too. I share that dream with you, Tom. And I feel like I'm copping out because I didn't have a dream of my own, but that was my dream. You were reading my mind, man. But I have another dream.
Oh, you can't do that, Chris. That's just cheap. I mean, we can't both have dreams. I
can have a dream.
I got there first. I got there first.
Patent to my dream. You think you're Apple? Anyways.
Let me just ring the U.S. court circuit. I'll be back in 5 minutes. All right.
Okay. Now, I have another dream, and it's not necessarily. I don't know that this dream can come true with Key Lime Pie, but it might be a great time to do it. Updates I'd like to see these updates before the new one comes out. You know, a lot of people
Oh, come on, that's not a dream. Everybody wants that.
Okay, but they need to get some type of systematic system in place, you know, something in place that puts, I don't know, if you're going to license the device, then you have to have, you know, if an OEM or a manufacturer, if you're going to use Android, you have to update your device within 6 months of the latest operating system coming out for at least 2 versions of the operating system, or you can't use Android. How about that? I mean, it owes it to the consumers. The consumers deserve to have these latest versions of these devices.
The Open Handset Alliance would shit a brick at that. They would hate that. They would absolutely hate it.
Well, I don't give a shit about the Open Handset Alliance. This is Android, and they can do what the fuck they want. And if you're going to use our software, you need to support it. You need to put the latest versions of Android operating system on it, at least. You know, there's some of them that are not even getting updated these days, and it's a crying shame. You know,
it's
you
wrong,
should be
for sure,
responsible at least for 2 devices. They say 18 months, hold it to them, or at least 12 months. You know, it's rather getting pathetic, and what it's happening is ruining the overall experience. You know, somebody can't get that latest operating system with the new bells and whistles that they thought they were going to get when they purchased the phone. They buy the phone, you know, and a lot of them come out with an older one, and they say, oh, I'm going to get Jelly Bean on this thing, and it's going to be great. The best thing ever to happen in my life. But then they find out it doesn't come. It never comes, and their world is crushed, and their dreams, and they commit suicide and stuff like that, and you know, just having a negative impact on the world. No, but in all seriously, if you're going to spend money and you want people to support Android, the ecosystem, and the technology, then you need to stand behind your devices that you're putting out.
We're still on air. This is amazing.
And
Chris, you need to start a petition.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. And it's obvious that the manufacturers are only worried about one thing, and that's putting out a new device and selling a new device. And the only people that can really hold them to this is Google. So I would like Key Lime Pie to start off, you know, some type of new era, new world order of Android devices on how things should be going and how they should be done. If you're going to put Jelly Bean or let's say Key Lime Pie onto it, and you want the license to this, or you want to be able to put on your device, you have to support the next 2 versions of the operating system or update, or you can sit on gingerbread for the next 10 years. Have some consequences for these manufacturers to use, you know, the software.
The consequences that you could have is, you know, you can't stop manufacturers from using Android because it's the Apache license, it's open source, take it, do what you want with it. But what you can do is you can say to them, right, well, you are a Google partner, so you get access to all of our Google services, which is the Play Store, all the apps, Gmail, everything, Google Experience. So that's Maps, everything. So they're a closed source, they're Google stuff. You get them when you're a Google partner. So you want consequences for these manufacturers like Motorola and that don't update their devices. Then you need to say to them, right, well, you know, we wanted you to update that phone because there's so many thousand people out there who've got that phone, and you know that you're not on track for updating the other phones. So what we're going to do now is, unless you update those devices, whatever phone you bring out with Android won't come with Google services. But they won't be able to do. But I don't see.
They're going to penalize. So they're going to hurt the current users, penalize them by slapping the wrist of the users. It's them who need to be fined.
But the thing is that's the only way that they could do it. That's the only way that they could do it, because
for not updating.
Well, that's the only way you could do it. The only incentive you could give to these people would be like, well, we can't stop you from using Android, but we can stop you from using Google services. So the next phone you release, unless you update the phones or you sign a contract saying that if you want to license Google services, you have to update, that's the only way you could do it. And then the next phone they bring out would be like, I don't know, the HTC so-and-so with no app store at all.
I have an idea.
You know.
Sorry to interrupt.
Is it violent?
How about this idea? we don't allow manufacturers to put out new phones until they update their old ones. No, sorry, Galaxy 4 has been delayed until they update their blah 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 device.
Wait, wasn't there a Motorola phone just recently that got the upgrade to gingerbread?
Yes,
the Click XT.
How nasty can that be? There is living proof that something can be done. I mean, and because it's harmful to, who the hell wants to buy a phone? Those guys who bought that phone, oh, I'm just getting, gingerbread. Wow, that's like 2
years old.
Systems away. Holy God. Do you think that guy's going to be buying an Android device again? Like, really? Do you think so? No.
But the thing about this is it's open source, so it's a double-edged sword. You can't really do much about it, So it's one of these things. I think Google just need to play. They need to play their game better. They need to play ball better. They need to say to them, look, if you want to play, you're gonna have to do something to show that you can actually play properly.
Well, while it can be open source, you definitely don't have to give them your full support.
Yeah, I mean, you can take
there's ways around dealing with that, and
just take Google services off them. No, I mean, I don't think anyone apart from Amazon are going to release an Android device these days without Google services. I mean, of course, you could see if you could license iOS 6 Maps, but I'm not entirely sure how well that would go down on a phone these days. If you take away Google services, you're left with just basically one of these tablets you buy that's like $99 that comes with nothing. I mean, what is a device without Google services? Let's be real. I mean, even if you don't use them all, you get no apps. You get no, So.
All right, Tom, we're gonna send that. We'll send off your suggestion to that Duarte guy there.
We'll co-author it. It's okay. We'll co-author it.
I'm giving the Android team a call. Actually, right now.
Yes,
they're already watching. What are you talking about? Say hello to Mick for us, Mike. Say hi to Mick. Okay, guys. Now, just to wrap up. We're talking about potentially, a lot of Nexus devices, 300 of them. No, 5 was the number. And we confirmed that there's going to be this LG Optimus G Nexus G for my G unit. Potentially this HTC Droid X Nexus is another rumored one. A pretty sad-looking Samsung Galaxy Nexus 2 in regards to specs-wise. So we'll hope that that's false and all those rumors are pure lies and fiction, because God forbid the phone comes out with those specs. And the key lime pie is probably going to get sent to the Nexus devices, obviously, first. Your Nexus 7, your Galaxy Nexus, maybe even your Nexus S back in the day. That still might get it. And whatever news coming out. So key lime pie, we're probably looking at a launch that we're talking about at the end of the month, at October 29th or 30th on All Things D, unless we see some huge big conference notices. But stay tuned. We'll definitely every week we'll be covering this right up to the launch. And that's it for key lime pie. I'm a little full from that. How about you guys? You everyone full?
Yes, very much.
Yes, totally.
Great. Now I just wanted to hit up our final segment of our show is with our crack assistant editor Tom Dawson as top 10 Android games of the week. I have a feeling we're going to hear about some pigs. Tom, give us a rundown of the top 10 Android games for September.
All right then, go on then. I will do. It was actually quite a good month for games, I have to say. Before we get started, it was quite a varied month for games because the other month we had a few, quite a lot of games, but they weren't really. I wouldn't like to say that they had as much sort of top tier kind of quality that we've got this month. So it was a good, nice, varied selection of games for this month. So. At number 10, we have.
To hear that.
Good. I'm glad you're happy. At number 10, we've got Drawdle, which is a great game that basically has you drawing things, and it combines like doodling with drawing stuff, and then you have to use physics. So you draw a shape, and then physics takes over, and you have to move objects and things out of the way. It's a nice. It's quite different to what we've normally seen, and it's like a low-res version of Angry Birds, but with no birds or pigs.
Okay, and that's a top game. It's better than Horn that came out last month, or Granny Smith, or Where's My Perry?
Well, Where's My Perry? That's
or Stick Tennis. Those fabulous game that came out last month.
Stick Tennis is a lot of fun. I'll have you know. Okay. But no, it's good. Drawdle's a good game.
Sounds like a mental game. Go on, Tom. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a good game. Check it out. Yeah, it's nice. Number 9, we have Pocket Planes, which is a really fun game. It's got a really nice sort of retro charm to it.
I played the full version.
And it puts you in charge of, taking care of your own airline, and you've got to, make sure flights, run on time and whatnot throughout the nation. And it's got really nice retro charm to it.
Any interaction with the stewardesses, Tom?
No, it's not that type of game, Chris. I think you have to. I think you have to check out a different section.
Yeah, that's if you want that, that's like a $2.99 edition.
Okay, that's an in-app purchase.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this one isn't free to play. I'm sorry to burst your bubble there, Chris.
Okay.
At number 8, we have GT Racing, the Hyundai edition, which is a good racing game. If you like Hyundai cars, you get to drive 2 Hyundai cars.
It's amazing Ferrari doesn't have a version now. Hyundai does, though. Okay, go on. Sorry, Tom.
Well, you know what Gameloft are like. You pay them enough money, they'll make you anything.
Okay.
But no, it's a good game. It's one of these racing games that's for people that actually likes to drive, as opposed to all the flashiness of like asphalt and things like that. It's a nice run-of-the-mill racing game. So you don't have to be interested in all the fanciness that goes on with these other games. It's just a nice, pure driving experience on your phone or tablet. And at number 7, we have Voxel Invaders, which I really like, because basically any game that riffs off of Space Invaders or Galaga or Galaxian, well, it's worthy of any top 10 list, let's be honest.
So you're talking about some really high-end graphics on that game, then?
You mock, but Voxel Invaders actually comes with an interesting blend of 3D and 2D, where it actually uses it'll change the layout from like a 2-dimensional thing to like a 3-dimensional, and then you have to move on different planes and stuff. It's a nice mix of new and old, and it's very easy to play. So yeah, really nice game. Huh? And at number 6, we have Desert Stormfront, which any player of Civilization games over the years will probably be familiar with, or any kind of real-time strategy. Basically, you control a bunch of forces to defeat another bunch of forces. It's got a nice look to it, and you can really spend hours making sure that your victory is swift and just.
Great time waster, Tom.
Yep, brilliant. At number 5, we have Rayman Jungle Run, which, despite a delayed launch, is finally with us, and it's a really fun game. I mean, it's Rayman, so if you played Rayman, you sort of know what you're getting into. But yeah, it's a nice game, nice fun game. Fits phone playing nicely. It's not too heavy. It's a nice platform game. So yeah, nice game.
We trust you. We trust you on it. Okay.
I think you're gonna have to, really. I think that's the long and short.
All right.
And number 4, we have quite a nice addition from Sega, which is Shogun Total War Battles. So obviously, if you played Total War Shogun on the PC, then you know what to expect from this. But if not, it's another real-time strategy game from the same guys that have bought you the Shogun series, and it's come to Android. But what's nice about it is instead of just porting it, they kind of made like a new game, but kept a lot of the features from the high-end PC game, and there's some pretty detailed graphics to say it's got a lot going on screen. That's a nice game. It's really good for like the commute and stuff. It's not too sort of heaven. You can easily, play for a little bit and then come back to it. It's a really nice game, and great if you've played those sort of games on the PC because it scales quite nicely. And at number 3, we have The Bard's Tale, which you will need a phone with some pretty decent free space because it takes up 4 gigabytes. Pretty much.
Jeez.
But for your 4 gigabytes, you basically get a full-blown RPG.
People saying they only need 8 gigabytes on their phones. That's it.
If you've got the 8 gigabyte Nexus S, you may want to shift some stuff around on that thing. No, it's for your 4 gigabytes, you'll be getting like a full-blown RPG. It's got all this sort of charm and whatnot that you'd expect. If you've played games like Neverwinter Nights and things like that, it's sort of the same sort of thing. And if you're looking to pick up an RPG for the first, if you've not played one before, a pocket-sized version is pretty good. But saying that, it's sort of like a PC game that's just been shrunk down, and it's got so much detail, and the gameplay and the combat's really good. So it's well worth a look. So
basically, people should download that game via their 3G or 4G connection, correct? Since it's only 3 or 4G.
Especially if you're on AT&T.
Or Verizon.
If you're on AT&T.
They have that nice shared data plans.
Yes, yeah. Verizon CFO would be over the moon at such a download. So LTE users go wild. And number 2, we have the fabled Bad Piggies, which isn't bad. What's nice about this is Rovio have actually done something different with the Angry Birds franchise for once. Obviously you're putting the shoes of the pigs. You've got to
pigs get
save.
Some love.
Yeah, you've got to. This time around, you're actually on the pig side. You've got to engineer ways of rescuing pigs from various different hideouts and make their escape away from the birds. So now, when you are now reenacting events from like the first game, where each and every time you did like 60 odd levels, and you think, oh well, I must be getting close to finding those damn pigs, and then the pigs go somewhere else, and then you have to do the thing again. You're now helping them do that. You're now helping them get further and further away from you on your first playthrough of the game.
This game should be great for 5-year-olds.
Yes, yeah. What's nice about it is it's not the typical sort of thing you expect from Angry Birds. It's a nice sort of blend of what they did with Amazing Alex earlier on in the year, and there's lots of different combinations to make your vehicle escape and whatnot. And you can, the better your combination is, the better you do the level, the worse, the quicker you fail.
Beautiful.
And number 1 is the fantastic Jetpack Joyride, which is from the folks that bought us the amazing Fruit Ninja. It was available on the Amazon Play Store, the Amazon App Store. Sorry, Google. For a little while, but it's broke its exclusivity, and now you can get it on Android. It's free, so go nuts. It's a really fast-paced game. It's simple one-touch gameplay, and there's a lot going on at any one given time. So it's a quick, fun game that's got some really nice charm in the graphics and the gameplay, and I think it's well worthy of our
very
number 1.
brother-style gameplay. It kind of looks like.
Yeah. It's it'll sure keep you awake. Yeah, it'll liven you up.
Thank you very much for that roundup of the top 10 Android games of the month, September edition. And we look forward to seeing what you got next month for us, Tom.
You're welcome.
And that's it for the Android Headline Show. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. In the meantime and in between time, that's it. And we'll see you next week right here, same time, same place. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Have a good evening.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.